In this video, we're going to show you the perfect itinerary for the Alentejo. One of the questions we get asked most is how to build an itinerary for Portugal's largest region, famous for gastronomy, wine, and vast plains. To do this trip comfortably and truly enjoy it, we recommend at least 7 days. That's why we've prepared a super complete 7-day itinerary with the best of the Alentejo, detailed day by day. If you have less time, you can cut the coastal part, but it would be a shame. So let's get started. When is the best time to visit the Alentejo? This is the most important tip. The Alentejo is the hottest region in Portugal. We strongly recommend avoiding the months of July and August. The heat in the Alentejo interior is extreme and dry. Temperatures easily pass 40 degrees Celsius, making it impossible to walk around the towns. The best times by far are spring, from April to June, when the fields are green and covered in wildflowers, and the fall, from September to October, when the weather is still warm but pleasant, and the vindima, or grape harvest, takes place. So, how will our 7-day itinerary work? The idea is to split the trip into 2 main bases to optimize your logistics. The region is very large. We'll stay the first 4 nights in Évora, the capital of Alto Alentejo. From there, we'll explore the city and the medieval villages, like Monsaraz. Then, we'll drive to the coast and stay the last 3 nights in Vila Nova de Mil Fontes, the best base on the Costa Vicentina. Now, let's talk about transportation between cities. For this itinerary, the rule is clear. Renting a car is mandatory. It is practically impossible to explore the Alentejo properly without a car. The most beautiful towns, the hilltop villages, the wineries, and the wild beaches are not accessible by train or bus. The best logistic is arrive at Lisbon Airport, rent the car at Lisbon Airport, and start driving to Évora. The drive from Lisbon to Évora takes about 1 hour and 30 minutes, and the highway, the A6, is excellent. You will keep the car for all 7 days. You'll need it to go from Évora to Monsaraz and then to cross the region to the coast. At the end of your trip, you'll drive from Vila Nova de Mil Fontes back to Lisbon Airport. The drive back from the coast takes about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Pay attention. Driving inside the historic centers, like Évora, is forbidden. Almost all towns have a ZTL, or limited traffic zone. Leave the car in a paid parking lot outside the walls and explore the center on foot. Staying in a good area will make your trip much easier. You'll be close to all these tourist spots. This itinerary has 2 base cities. In Évora, the capital, you have 2 options. The first is to stay inside the walls of the historic center. The advantage is the charm of waking up in a historic building. The disadvantage is parking. Check if your hotel offers a solution, as you cannot drive in the second option, and the most authentic experience is to stay at a herdade. These are the luxury farmstay hotels, or agriturismi. Many of them are wineries. The advantage is that you wake up in the middle of olive groves or vineyards and enjoy the pool. The disadvantage is that you are isolated and need a car for absolutely everything. On the Costa Vicentina, the best base by far is Vila Nova de Mil Fontes. It's the most charming town, with the most infrastructure, and is perfectly located at the mouth of the Mira River. Porto Covo is a smaller, more rustic option. We created this custom map which explains exactly which is the best region in each of these areas. If you stay in Évora or a nearby herdade, you can't go wrong. We'll leave the link to this map here on the QR code, on the screen, and in the video description. We created it on the hotel site we always use, as it always has the best prices. There, you can put in your travel dates and see all the hotel and herdade options within that location. At the lowest prices, we'll also leave links to the hotels where we've stayed. In every destination, we always recommend one that is very cheap and super well located in Évora, and another that is an unforgettable luxury herdade. They are great options. An important tip to save on lodging is the advanced booking strategy. The good herdades sell out many months in advance. This is why we love using this website. Besides having the lowest prices, it has free cancellation for almost all hotels. You can book as early as possible to guarantee a much lower price, and if you need to cancel later, it's super easy and costs nothing. And remember that in the link below, we always organize everything you need to plan your entire trip for the best price. The sites we use to plan our trips and that have everything much cheaper: Travel eSIM, travel insurance at half price, tickets for all attractions, good and cheap hotels we've stayed at, cheap car rentals, and the global account to carry money paying much lower fees. And the links already contain automatic discounts, as we are always updating them. So save and use this page that will make your trip much easier. Now, let's get to the day-by-day plan. Day 1. Arrival. Drive to Évora and Roman Temple. Arrive at Lisbon Airport, pick up your rental car, and drive for about 1 hour and 30 minutes on the A6 highway to Évora. Check into your hotel or herdade. Remember to park outside the walls if you're in the center. Spend the afternoon exploring the historic center of Évora on foot. Start at Praça do Giraldo, the heart of the city. From there, walk up to the highest point and visit the Roman Temple, or Temple of Diana. It's an incredibly well-preserved temple from the 1st century. The visit is free. Next to it, visit the Évora Cathedral. You can pay a ticket of about €4 to climb up to the rooftop of the cathedral. The view of the Alentejo Plains is spectacular. For dinner, we recommend Fialo. It's one of Portugal's most traditional restaurants. It's expensive, expect to spend over €60 per person, but it's a flawless gastronomic experience you must book. Day 2. Évora, Chapel of Bones, and Wine Route. In the morning, visit Évora's most famous attraction, the Capela dos Ossos, or Chapel of Bones. It's inside the Church of São Francisco. It's a small chapel, but its walls and pillars are entirely covered with over 5,000 human bones and skulls. The sign at the entrance says, "We bones that are here, for yours we wait." The ticket for the chapel and museum costs about €6. For lunch, look for a more local and cheaper option. Tasca Típica, o Enguia, is a tiny place frequented by locals. For tiscos, tapas, a lunch there costs about €25 per person. In the afternoon, get in the car and let's hit the wine route. Drive about 20 minutes to a da Cartucha. This is where they make the famous and very expensive Paramanca wine. You need to book the guided tour in advance. The tour and tasting costs about €25. If you want a bigger experience, drive 45 minutes to Herdade do Esperão, one of the largest and most beautiful wineries in Portugal. The tour with tasting starts at €30. Day 3. Day trip to Monsaraz, the medieval village. Today is for visiting the most beautiful village in Portugal. Take the car and drive for about 1 hour from Évora to Monsaraz. Monsaraz is a tiny whitewashed medieval village on top of a hill, surrounded by walls. You must park the car outside the walls and explore everything on foot. Spend the entire morning getting lost in the cobblestone alleys. Walk to the Monsaraz Castle. Entry is free. The view from the castle is breathtaking. You see the Alcava Lake, which is the largest artificial lake in Europe, and the border with Spain. For lunch, book a table at Sabores de Monsaraz. The food is spectacular, and the view from the windows over the lake is unforgettable. Lunch costs about €40 per person. In the afternoon, on the way back to Évora, stop in São Pedro do Corval. It's the largest center for artisanal pottery in the country. Visit the workshops and buy hand-painted pieces. Day 4. Day trip to Marvão and Estremoz. Today is a longer travel day to the Alto Alentejo. Start by driving about 1 hour north to Estremoz. It's the white city of the Alentejo, famous for its marble. Climb up to the castle and the Posada. For lunch, a unique experience in Estremoz is the restaurant Cadeia Quinhentista, where you eat regional dishes inside the cells of an old 16th century prison. In the afternoon, continue driving for another hour north to Marvão. It's another incredible village on top of an 800-meter mountain, right on the border with Spain. It's called the Eagle's Nest. Walk through the white alleys and climb up to Marvão Castle. The ticket costs about €3. The view from the walls is 360 degrees, from where you can see the Spanish plains. In the late afternoon, prepare for the long drive back to Évora, which takes about 1 hour and 45 minutes. An important tip that will save you time and money is to buy tickets for attractions and tours in advance. Buying on the spot is always more expensive, and the most famous tourist spots like the tastings at the large herdades need to be booked weeks in advance. We'll leave the link on the QR code on the screen and in the description to the site, where we always buy tickets and tours for the best price. It's the largest tour site in the world and has practically everything there. Tickets for wine tours at Herdade do Esperão or Cartucha, boat trips on the Alcava Lake, and guided tours in Évora, all at the best price, and you can buy in any currency, saving on fees. Day 5. Travel to the Costa Vicentina. Today we change bases and head to the sea. Check out of your hotel in Évora and get the car. We'll drive from Évora to the coast. The drive to Vila Nova de Mil Fontes takes about 2 hours and is very beautiful, crossing the Alentejo countryside. Arrive in Vila Nova de Mil Fontes and check into your hotel. Spend the afternoon exploring the village, which is the most charming on the Costa Vicentina. It's located at the mouth of the Mira River. Visit the Fort de São Clemente, the fort on the beach. The main attraction here is the beach. You can stay on the river beaches, which have calm water, or take a €2 ferry across to Praia das Furnas on the other side. For dinner, Vila Nova de Mil Fontes has the best restaurants on the coast. We recommend Tasca do Celso. It's a super famous restaurant for authentic Alentejo food and fresh fish. You need a reservation. A dinner costs about €50 per person. Day 6. Costa Vicentina, Porto Covo, and Ilha do Pessegueiro. Today, we'll explore the beaches to the north. Take the car and drive 25 minutes to Porto Covo. It's a tiny and super charming fishing village with white and blue houses and a beautiful little square. From there, drive another 5 minutes to Praia da Ilha do Pessegueiro. It's a wild beach with an island and an old fort in front of it. The water here is cold, but the scenery is spectacular. For lunch, go back to Porto Covo and eat grilled fish at one of the restaurants in the square. In the afternoon, head back south and relax at Praia do Malo. It's a wild beach, accessible by a dirt road, perfect for escaping the crowds. Return to Vila Nova de Mil Fontes for dinner. Day 7. Zambujeira do Mar and return to Lisbon. On your last day, enjoy the morning exploring the southern part of the Costa Vicentina Drive, 30 minutes south to Zambujeira do Mar. It's another dramatic village. on top of a cliff, with a beautiful beach below. On the way, stop at Praia da Amália, a wild beach accessible by a trail, which was the refuge of the famous fado singer, Amália Rodrigues. After lunch, it's time to leave. Check out of the hotel and hit the road back to Lisbon Airport. The drive from Vila Nova de Mil Fontes to Lisbon takes about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Return your rental car at the airport and catch your flight home. About travel insurance. Essential and mandatory to enter Europe. You need coverage of 30,000 euros. Use the comparator in the link in the description to save money. For those who will rent a car, the most important tip is to book in advance online using a price comparator. It's always much cheaper, and you guarantee your car. Remember to ask for the electronic toll device. We'll leave the link to the comparator we use in the description. Quick shopping tips. The focus is cork, bags, shoes, and hats. Hand-painted ceramics in São Pedro do Corval. And of course, wines and olive oil directly from the Herdades, remember tax-free, on purchases over 50 euros. And for those who are new here to the channel, welcome. Subscribe and like the video for more tips. And how much does it cost to eat in the Alentejo? It's paradise. It's much cheaper than Lisbon or the Algarve. A Big Mac combo costs 7 euros. The golden tip is the Prato do Dia, dish of the day, at lunch. For 10 to 12 euros, you get a full meal. A full dinner at a mid-range restaurant will be around 30 euros per person. And the tip? Service is not included. It's not mandatory, but it's very kind and expected to leave about 10%. And what to do at night? The nightlife in the Alentejo is very, very quiet. There is no nightlife. The plan is to have a long wine-filled dinner. In Évora, Praça do Giraldo has some bars that stay open later, but the focus is on relaxing. And if you're traveling with children, the Alentejo can be a bit boring for small children. It's a destination very focused on food, wine, and landscapes. They might like the castles, like in Monsaraz and Marvaux. If you stay at a herdade, they will love it, as there's a pool, space to run, and farm animals. And to combine your trip, this itinerary is the perfect combination with Lisbon. The best logistic is to fly into Lisbon, spend a few days there, and then rent a car and drive 90 minutes to the Alentejo. You can also combine it with the Algarve. From Évora, you drive about 2.5 hours south, and you're at the beaches. And finally, the Alentejo is on the border with Spain from Monsaraz. You are just a few minutes from Badajoz. If you liked this detailed Alentejo itinerary, like the video and subscribe to our channel. Leave your questions in the comments. Thank you very much and have a great trip.